This is your brother Shamar from the Phoenix Camp. And with that being said, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the brothers that are doing this work in true sincerity. Your right to lesson. This is Jeremiah 6:10. It says, "To whom shall I speak and give warning, that they may hear? Behold, their ear is uncircumcised, and they cannot hearken. Behold, the word of the Lord is unto them a reproach. They have no delight in it." So that speaks of 2/3 of our people, 2/3 of so-called Black, Latino, Native American, which are stuck in plantation Christianity, which are stuck in all these other philosophies and forms of idolatry that you see going on here in America, man. They have not been given the spirit to hearken or to listen to this word. So that's how you know that this is a very spiritual thing. It's that if the Lord would open up their ears and their eyes, and they would believe it and receive it, and they would be saved, because that's the effect that the word has on a proper and right spirit. So when we go out and we preach and we do these lessons, and I'm talking from the elders on down to the brothers in the camp, it's to warn people, man. You know, that's why it's to warn people and to teach correctly and to give rebuke and an exhortation and edification to Israel. And that's the job of a prophet of the Lord. That's the job of a man of the Lord. That's the job of a watchman. So I'm going to run that back again. It's Salakia. Jeremiah 6:10, it says, "To whom shall I speak and give warning, that they may hear? Behold, their ear is uncircumcised, and they cannot hearken. Behold, the word of the Lord is unto them reproach. They have no delight in it." See? So in order to have a delight in this word, the Lord has to put the proper spirit in you to delight in that word, man. You gotta have the proper spirit in you to desire righteous things, spiritual things. You know, because the scripture says that a carnal mind is enmity against the Most High. It's against the Most High. So it's not, a carnal mind is not going to desire or delight in spiritual things. It's not going to desire and delight in these scriptures and these prophecies and these teachings. I'm just going to go ahead and get that, the carnal mind. So what you see happening is there's two scriptures, I'm going to bring both out. It's a very spiritual thing, man, because we're spiritual men. That's why we can break down these scriptures. That's why we can understand these scriptures. That's why we delight in these scriptures, man. That's why we can delight. I mean, we have joy and we take comfort, and it excites us, man. It energizes us. It revitalizes and charges up our spirit when we hear the word of the Lord being preached proper and correct. You know, brothers get excited, man. When you know, there's certain scriptures that brothers bring out, and you know, like you're like, woo, you're like, that's fire, man, or you know, something to that effect. You get excited about what's being taught, man. You get excited about the promises. You get excited about the vengeance. You get excited about the kingdom to come. And only a spiritual mind can do that. Only a spiritual mind is going to delight or get excited about these scriptures and these prophecies. A carnal mind is not going to be able to do that or understand it or accept it. Well, I'm going to get these scriptures right there. This is Romans 8:6. It says, "For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." Why is that? Because to be spiritually minded, it doesn't matter what the hell you're going through, man. It doesn't matter what kind of hell that you live on a day-to-day basis in your personal life, in your work life, home life, whatever. There's always a hope of something better that you hold on to. There's a life. There's life and peace. There's a revitalization of your spirit. There's hope, man. You're not stuck in that state of despair that most people are in this world. Searching and seeking for hopeless and vain things. You have life and you have peace because you understand the promises of these scriptures, and you understand the word of the Most High. Let's get that second scripture. Romans 8:7, it says, "Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh." See? So a carnal mind is not going to delight in the things of the spirit. For it is not subject to the law of Yahweh, neither indeed can be. If you're not subject to the law of Yahweh, that means not in accordance, it's not in obedience to the law of the Most High. So the carnal mind doesn't want to follow the law, statutes, commandments. The carnal mind doesn't want to observe the Sabbath day. The carnal mind doesn't want to refrain from eating pork. The carnal mind doesn't want to put the Most High first. The carnal mind doesn't want to not commit adultery. The carnal mind does not want to steal. The carnal mind wants to do carnal things, and things that are pleasing and pertaining to the flesh. So the carnal mind is an enmity against Yahweh. Let's get that word enmity. It says, for the carnal mind is enmity. It says hostility. So there's a hostility towards the word of the Most High. And we've seen that in the highways and hedges, man. We've seen that hostility. We've seen that hostility. We've seen people get hostile. We've seen people get riled up in the spirit. We see those demons come out of people, man. We've seen the hostility come out against the word of the Most High. It says, so they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh. And the flesh cannot listen or adhere or be subject to law, statutes, and commandments, because it is of a carnal nature. And the Spirit said, he that worships the Most High, Salakia, must worship him in spirit and in truth. Let's get Ezekiel 3:18. So there's a separation, or there's a difference between a man that adheres to the scriptures. There's a different nature, there's a different spirit upon him. A man that's obedient and willing to the Most High to the best of his ability, and a man that is not. Let's get Ezekiel 3:18. It says, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but the blood shall be required thine hand. So that's why there was a responsibility put upon us, and that's why the responsibility is so heavy, to go out and warn the people. And whether they listen to it or not, whether they adhere to it or not, the judgment has gone forth. Because the scripture said that this gospel shall be preached to the ends to all four corners of the earth, paraphrasing, and then the end will come. So what's that saying? That this message, this truth, this warning is going to go out worldwide. So every person that's meant to hear this word and take the warning from this word is going to hear it. Whether they're obedient or not to it depends if the Most High opens up their ears. But nevertheless, it is our job to give the warning. It says, verse 19, yet if thou warn the wicked, he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. Why was that? Because we have been given a talent, we have been given a calling, we have been given hired as laborers to do this thing. So it's a responsibility that we have to do in warning of the people. And warning of the people of upcoming famine, upcoming pestilence, upcoming martial law, upcoming MOTB, upcoming this, that, the other, man, all plagues, so on and so forth, of what the scriptures talk about, man. We do that every time we make these videos and every time we go on the highways and hedges. That's the platform that the Most High set up to warn the people. And this message has been gone out. It has gone out. It has not quieted. It has not simmered down. It has not held its peace since the start of it, man. So the Most High put the Spirit on the apostles and elders, up to even including Nabal Bivens, for this work to be performed. It says again, when a righteous man does turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stony block before him, he shall die. Because thou hast not given warning, he shall die in his sin. His righteousness which he hath done shall not be remembered, but his blood will not require at thine hand. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man, then the righteous sin, that the righteous sin not, and does not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Also thou hast delivered thy soul. You see that? So that's telling you of the grave responsibility that's given to the men of the Lord. Let's get Ezekiel 33:3. There's a few quick scriptures. here at the plantation. Ezekiel 33:3. And it says, again, the word of the Slack. I'll start verse 3. I'll start at verse 1. It says, again, the word of the Lord came out, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, saying that when I bring the sword upon the land, the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman. If when he sees the sword come from the land, he blow the trumpet, warn the people. Then whosoever hears the sound of the trumpet taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman sees the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away from the iniquity, but blood by acquired the watchman's hand. So that just tells you about that. That basically I brought out the scripture to show of the great responsibility that we have in teaching of this word. And you got to look at it like that. You got to look at it as a responsibility. You got to look at it as an obligation. You got to look at it as a vow that was put upon you for you to perform. And the consequences of not paying that vow, of not performing that obligation, of not fulfilling that responsibility, can be subject to judgment, among other things. So the other Gabar, back in years back, he used to liken this truth like the mafia, this thing of ours. He would liken it to the mafia, meaning it's a very grave, it's a very serious matter. Because the mafia, they take a blood oath, and there's no way out of it except by death. So that just tells you and he said that to show the very seriousness of this work that we do. So you got to understand that it's a very serious work. It's a very serious responsibility that we are given as men being called, Most High willing, chosen, to perform the work of the Lord. So let's get a Colossians 1:28. Salakia. It's Colossians 1:28, and it says, Salakia, I'm a bit sick. It says, Colossians 1:28, whom we preach. They're talking about this gospel, Yahweh Shai. We're preaching Yahweh Shai to the people. It says, whom we preach, warning every man and teaching every man all wisdom, we may present every man perfect, man check Yahweh Shai. So we preach warning every man. That's the responsibility of a watchman, to warn every man. That's what responsibility is. What's up here? Salakia. It says, when we preach warning every man and teaching every man in all wisdom, that we may present every man perfect in Mashiach Yahweh Shai. So that's what we do. That's our responsibility, man. So with that being said, that's just a few scriptures, pertaining to the seriousness of this work. And in hearing these scriptures, you have to really hold yourself to a high standard. So with that being said, I hope the lesson was edifying. Most I wouldn't hope was edifying. Slakia. Most I wouldn't hope was edifying. But instead I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Kahala, Yahweh, Bahasham, Shai. But keep pushing, Shalom.